Okay, it's time once again to take a look at these eggs and what's been hatching. Get a lot of inspiration from Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. My oldest daughter goes to the movies sometimes, and she brings me back specific things I like. I still have a huge Superman cup. It's almost as big as this bucket that I love, and she brought those back to me a while back. But I love the whole concept of those creatures and a whole amusement park based around there, and what goes wrong too is intriguing and interesting. Just because you can doesn't mean you should do certain things. I love that whole thing, and that life will find a way. So with that in mind, I want to actually go through these before I release them, and who knows where they'll end up. None of them are marked, so I don't think that I will, see any posts or Facebook posts as to where they end up or the story behind their little journey once I set them free. But anyway, I want to kind of just go through and capture them so that I can look back and remember them, and also it encourages me to do them a little bit better, because when I look at a photograph or video of them, I see things that I could do differently and better, like drop shadows and little details that just make it a little bit better. I'm not necessarily going for a realistic view. I tried wings, didn't do very well. I don't feel like I did with the wings. And then the other side, some of them have nice landscapes. Speaking of wings, I did this one. This rock was really weird shaped and had some weird coloration. Like that color right there was just in the rock, part of the rock. So I kind of worked with the rock a little bit. And I just discovered an artist. Oh brother, that sounds ridiculous. But anyway, I just found out about David Zinn. D-A-V-I-D, David Zinn, Z-I-N-N. He's a street artist, and he works with chalk on the sidewalk. As I show these, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I just saw about him. I'm trying to get in a good position here to do this. Okay, so basically he talked about doing sidewalk art in chalk, and not signing his name to it, because then the pressures of it being yours and I don't know, he said something about how even though his creatures, a lot of them are just fictional, like these creatures are just, I'm not necessarily going for a dragon. I call them dinosaurs just because, I don't know, it seemed like it kind of looked like a dinosaur. But with my lizards, I try to make them real, but when I try to make them very real, like this one, that's about as best as I can do right now, but I have gotten better. But if I try to make them look too real, they don't look real to me. And I like doing things like its tail turns into the grass. Some of the other ones I've done it where their tongue is coming out and reaching around and going for like one of the birds that are in the sky. But he said if you put your name on it, nothing real has a label printed on it. Like a real creature wouldn't have the name on their foot, kind of like Toy Story with Andy. They're his and they're marked. And I think sometimes it's better not to mark stuff. I love labeling things for St. Augustine rocks, because then I get to hear the story behind the journey that little rock took once I put it out there and somebody found it. There's kind of a follow-up. It's pretty interesting at times. But it doesn't matter, really. And the story's not always told anyway, so it's better for me to just label some of them, but then others just stick them out there and just let them go and not get any credit back and just let people enjoy it and not have to. This was another one I think that was weirdly colored and I kind of worked with, but just enjoy it and make them smile and maybe keep it or maybe rehide it or maybe stick it in their purse or their backpack and forget about it, and then days later open up their backpack and find it and just kind of make them smile. Kindness Rocks started with a lady that would walk the beach. She had lost some family members. I believe her mom and dad died, and she would walk the beach to kind of clear her mind and be alone with her thoughts and think about things, and she would find certain rocks and certain shapes would represent different people, and she'd find like a heart-shaped rock, and she had a Sharpie marker, and she would write on them little words of kindness and hope and encouragement, and that's really how a lot of the and the next day or so she went out and placed a couple of them here and there, and then she got a call or something from a friend who said, "Hey, I found one of your rocks," and it wasn't one of hers, so it caught on. I guess somebody else saw it, or somebody else was also doing it, and before she knew it, she realized it was much bigger than her, and anybody could do it. And so that's kind of how a lot of the rock decorating and people putting something on a rock and leaving it somewhere for a random person to find came out. I do like the gloss that I have on these, and it's actually just Elmer's glue, clear Elmer's glue. And a lot of the work, the really nice colors, are from permanent markers, not even name brand Sharpie. Some of the cheaper permanent markers I get at the dollar store, I don't even think they have a name on them at all. Those work great for blending, and I can get some nice colors. And then the fine little flowers like these are a little too big for my liking, but in some of the other ones I found I can do, I can't find an example here, but I can do real tiny little specks with a gel pen. Makes for good flowers. This one was inspired by a toy I saw at Walmart where they had this bag or a box or something with this dinosaur hand coming out of the egg. It's really cool, and the egg's all cracking. A lot of these rocks will have some bumps and wrinkles and crevices that I'll work with and run with. This one was really flat on the top, and I wanted to do something in this one. He's got his mouth open. So that's it for now. I don't know if these are going to go to one main person and then they distribute them, or what's going to happen, but there it is for now. Want to be sure to catch it.